Hi everyone. This is a video update. I'm just trying to sit here. I'm thinking, want to make a video, not quite sure what I even really want to talk about. There's a couple of topics that have been running through my mind, issues that the great debate community is always sort of interested about. You know, for example, I was thinking about sitting here and talking about some of the things that I consider to be psychic experiences that I've had. What is consciousness? You know, what is love? What is friendship? You know, what are all of these ideas? And then I thought, you know, these are topics that I'm always interested in talking about, but I'm finding it hard to get myself interested in topics like I used to get into. I'm always really hot and ready to debate about anti-theism, the anti-Christian type of stuff, but I wanted to take a different direction with my channel. And instead of attacking issues, I've wanted to present information. You know, I feel like there's two types of YouTubers out there. Well, there's many different types, but in our community, that there's the people who present information and there's the people who attack information. And I've always felt like the ones who attack the information, they're taking the easy way out. They're taking the easy option because it's really easy to criticize information, but it's really difficult to put your own ideas out there and have them up for criticism. So I thought, well, instead of attacking other people's religions that they hold dear to their heart, it's better for me to present information that I found through my own journey. You know, so for example, I don't consider myself a religious person anymore, and instead of seeing why I hate religion, I try to now present information about what I do think is important about life, you know, and that type of whole thing. So it's taken more of from a negative tone to a positive tone. And for me, I think that that's a better perspective for me to have, because it helps me focus on what's positive, and it helps me kind of move toward a positive goal instead of focusing on what's negative and retreating from, you know, my past, that type of thing. So when I try to present information, I try to talk about some of the things that that are new and interesting to me. For example, you know, I've been kind of interested in this whole Reiki thing recently. I will be honest with you guys. There's some things that really bother me about it. It's a little too spiritualistic. But there's certain things about it that I really do like. So I try to find balance with all of these things, because I know that I don't know everything. I mean, when we talk about ideas about God, you know, I look at it like, if you want to call the great mystery of existence God, that's okay, but it sort of confuses the point, because we have ideas of what God means, and when we look at God in a more vague perspective, I think it sort of muddies the water a little bit. For example, when I got into this community, I refused to call myself an atheist for a really long time, because I felt like I was more of a middle pathway type of person. That I looked at life with a spiritual perspective, even though I didn't relate to any God or deistic type of perspective. For example, I just looked at God as being the great mystery of existence. But the problem is that too many people start associating attributes to God. You know, Christianity is by far, it gets too complex. You know, it's like when we look at attributes of God, and then we start putting personality attributes to God, and we start putting, you know, like God is only this and God is only that. I think it actually, the more you have of God is types of things, the more it's actually a proof that is not really what God, I don't know, you know what I mean? That's not really, like, the more, like, God is only loving, God is always just, that actually is more of a case against your God, because no, it's not. No, he's not. No, it's not. And so So I wanted to put more information out there that is more positive. So, what is then? Instead of what is not, what is? Well, so, am I a type of person that can even relate to the concept of God? Well, when we hold to the God concept as only that thing that is beyond our comprehension, and always beyond our comprehension, it's like, how can we ever understand God? We won't. How can we understand the great mystery of existence? We won't. Okay, then let's just move on. Sometimes like people will ask me, real religious people who are on the fringe of still being kind of religious, they'll ask me things like, well, isn't it scary to, don't you have fear that if you're wrong, or how can this great thing exist if there isn't a God, like that type of stuff, the God of the gaps type of argument. And to me, it really doesn't matter what you think about God, as long as you're not infringing your beliefs really on culture or your children or society in any way. Because there's nothing that you think that's going to change anything. And I know that that Christianity would have a big problem with that, because the whole point is converting, believing to be saved. So that's a little bit different. But when you really get into the nitty-gritty of predestination and the free and whether a soul is already predestined to be going to hell or to heaven, and all that type of stuff, it gets really interesting that nothing you do really does make a difference, even in certain aspects of Christianity. But even free from religion, even from, like, no matter what religion you are, I don't think it really matters what you believe. Like, it's not going to change anything. People always wonder, well, what if I don't believe the right thing? What if, I live my life and I was wrong about this concept of God the entire time. So what? So what? Nobody knows the truth. Nobody has the ultimate truth answer, and nobody does. I mean, I think certain people have gotten closer, certain philosophers, certain gurus, certain really people who really kind of tapped into this pulse that is this human connection, that is a way of communicating that we all seem to understand, and some people think of it as spiritual. I think that that's just a way of explaining the fact that we can all relate to what a person is saying, certain concepts that they're relating, we can respond to. And I think that these people are the leaders, they're the spiritual leaders, they're the people that others want to follow, because they are speaking something that resonates truth to us. We can't, but it's more of a human thing. I think that that a lot of spirituality, a lot of things like that is more of a human thing when we're alive. Like, for example, when I saw that movie that just came out recently, I think it was Doctor Strange, and a lot of it had to do with spiritual stuff, and kind of my whole realm of understanding a little bit. I mean, I think they went a little overboard, but one of the concepts was really interesting, and that was that astral soul, that it dies when you die. And that's something that I've kind of believed, that we all have this sort of like electromagnetic connection to things when we're alive, like, and I don't really understand what it is, but I think that it's the thing that explains psychic stuff and all these kind of this gray mystery area. But I do think it dies when we die. I don't think that there's a soul or spirit that continues after death. But that's just me. I could be very, very wrong about that. And maybe I am. And maybe I'll learn that there is something about us that does continue after we die. Perhaps. I think that it would take a big, big light bulb type of experience at this point for me to think that a soul exists after we die. But so what? So I still have a lot of questions about existence. I still have a lot of questions about what we are capable of here in this life, like right here and now, because I do think there is some still like gray mystery areas. And that's one reason why I have a hard time going completely into the true atheist, cold, skeptic way of looking at things, because even though I do think it's a really good idea to be skeptical about things, I don't think it's good to dismiss things entirely without giving them at least a run through with thought and critical thinking, and using a little bit of is it possible type of thinking, and I think that there's a lot of pseudoscience and people out there that are muddying the waters so much with the type of stuff that I'm interested in, that it makes me feel like throwing my hands up and saying, I don't like alternative facts. I don't like all these types of things. Alternative facts. What, this is the new thing that's out there, is alternative facts. What the hell is alternative facts? There's either facts or there's not facts. It either is or it isn't. There are no alternative facts. Anyway, so I guess I'm going to end here with this basic idea that I've kind of vented, I've kind of put forth some of my ideas as far as how I'm feeling right now about life, existence, God, psychic stuff, all the things that I've talked a lot here about on my channel. And so I just wanted to kind of touch base here a little bit and just let everybody know kind of where I'm at, put my 2 cents in there, and this is where I'm standing right now in my spiritual journey. So I will talk to you guys later, and bye.